Hello guys, and first things first, I'm sorry. I delivered just a couple of videos referring to the surf game in Godot that I was making, and then I disappeared completely.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
And before addressing the title of this video, I want to tell you guys what happened. Honestly, I was overwhelmed with a lot of stuff going on with my life. I got a tiny promotion at work where now I have to teach newcomers to the job, and also me and my girlfriend bought our first house right here in the Netherlands. Everything is going great and smooth. With all of that, and also trying to learn new information for developing the game, prepare content to make new videos, it was just a bit too much for me and my small operating machine. But how is the game, you might ask?
No, don't do it!
Well, apart from testing out a few new systems and some UI interactions, I really haven't done much extra. But not everything is bad news. See, when I was testing out new systems, I decided to do it on a brand new project, so I couldn't damage anything on the current one. And I was also a bit curious to test some features from the latest version of Godot. And after learning about cameras, UI, some custom vehicle physics, particles, an inventory system, I figured out a lot of stuff that I could have handled better on my game. I felt that it was becoming a bit of a mess, to be honest. That, combined with the fact that now there is a plugin for Godot 4 that replicates almost perfectly the source movement, made the sad news hit the game industry. I'm leaving my surf game behind.
Who the f is that guy?
As I also told you, I was taking that game as an experiment to where we could take the engine to. And the engine didn't fail the experiment, but I did. I don't regret it, as I learned a lot about the engine and especially on what not to do. But this is where the new project comes in to brighten up the day. And also, yeah, this is where I address the title of this video. I started reformulating game ideas with what I've learned, and I came up with this. A shooter driving game where you own a taxi company, and the main idea is that you are competing with other companies, taking customers to their destination to dominate the most regions of the city that you can. Kinda like a crazy taxi, remember those days?
But where is the shooting part?
Well, your little taxi company is not taking any shit. What if other companies are stealing customers in your area? Or maybe you want to take over an area that belongs to other companies. You can go there and make them say hello to your little friend. And yeah, it still might be a bit of an overscope. But on this project I decided to do it differently so we can save the most time that we can. This is where Kenny's assets come in hand. In case you don't know, Kenny has been developing game assets since 2010 around, I believe, and completely for free. Also, not on the free side, but he has this little software called Asset Forge, where he has a bunch of pre-made blocks and you can build your own 3D models using these blocks. I grabbed a copy of it and it was totally worth it. Yes, it still has some bugs here and there, but I was popping new 3D models like popcorn. I created some teams. Some random people to act as customers. Some buildings. Vehicles. Weapons. All of it just within a few days of playing with Asset Forge. So easy, I felt like a kid playing with building blocks. Now, one of my main issues with the surf game was that the code and resources were not reusable. They were too specific for each situation that happened, making it way more messier and not efficient. This was a thing that I wanted to change on this new project. Every piece of code or info I was learning, I was also learning how to make it reusable. Still a bit messy, but reusable at least. But without any more delays, let me show you what I have done for this project. We have our basic input setup, the character can move.
Wow.
We can zoom in or zoom out. And also orbit the camera around it. For the camera, I use this amazing plugin called Phantom Camera by Ramox. It works like a charm, and even when I was struggling with something, the developer quickly replied to help me out. I'm loving this one because the camera movement is so smooth, and you can set your own tweens to transition between cameras. Since I never tried to set up vehicles, I also wanted to do that. At start, I was looking at the default vehicle body node, but after some testing, I noticed that it wasn't acting the way I wanted. I decided to do a custom rigid body vehicle system where I can fully control how the vehicle is acting.
Impressive.
The colored arrows that you see on the vehicle are the forces that are being applied to it. I can then change the values accordingly for each vehicle, so if you are driving a bus or a bigger van, it will feel heavier to drive, for example. This video by this guy was a huge help in setting up this whole system. Together with some smoke particles attached to our back tires and enabled when we are drifting, and it already feels so good to drive compared to the typical suggestions that I tried. Next step in the project was the beginning of the UI, because I wanted to create an inventory system with it. So I had this idea. Most of the settings and features will be available through your phone. If we want to access our inventory, for example, we pull up our phone and open the designated app for it. Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings of the very first graphics I used to start iterating on our inventory. But very soon in the process, I also created a slot background and some other container backgrounds so I could start implementing the inventory visual the way I want it. So for now, we can pull up our phone, open the inventory, and manage almost everything. We can grab, move, split, equip, and that is it for now. All of it updating the inventory visuals. On our phone, we will have a scroll container that shows all of our items info when we select it. This inventory was possible by following this video. Basically, it uses resources and updates everything according to the info on those resources, which makes it really scalable and easy to add more items later on in the process. Huge shout out to this guy for the amazing logic coding and signal usage in Godot. I really learned a lot to keep iterating on that same inventory and even other systems, so I definitely recommend you guys watch it. After the basic inventory, I took care of equipping weapons. Our inventory already knows that if we select a weapon, that we can equip it. So I created 3 quick slots that we can assign a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, and a throwable accordingly. I added some animations as well to give it some flair, and when we press the equip button, it is sending that weapon data from the resource, checking its type, and equipping it to the matching quick slot. Then this is also checked and linked to the respective bone attachment position and animations. If we are holding a big weapon, we have the holding animation. If the weapon is small, we just leave it attached to the right hand while the left hand stays free. Also, taking advantage of the knowledge I got on the surf game using inverse kinematics, I decided to use it as well in this game for the left hand position when we shoot. Each weapon has a node to represent the position where the left hand should go. Our IK target will then mimic the global transform of that node, keeping our left hand in the correct place for each weapon. And I know that I'm going a bit fast over the features that I added to my game.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
But this video was more to show you guys what I've been up to, and also show you that this game will not be a waste of your time as the surf game was.
Please don't go.
I already got it to a point that it overcame the surf game in features, and I'm really enjoying iterating on this project. Especially because I know I have basically the assets ready. I just need to get a coding going and the UI graphics later.
God, thanks for GIMP, because we are good Windows users and we don't crack Photoshop.
Let me know what you guys think about the game. My idea after this video is to release videos explaining each system in more detail. You wanna know how the camera is working? I got you. You wanna know how the inventory is working? I got you. You wanna know how the animations are working? Me and Mixamo got you. I don't wanna leave you guys hanging like the last time. Also, more on the personal side, July 1st is the first day we move to the new house. So expect a video showcasing the big update and also the brand new headquarters, I guess. Who knows, you might even get lucky and get a glance at this beautiful face. Once again, sorry for my disappearance and hope to see you guys in the next video. See y'all later.